What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review a 2011 mixtape by Cap1. Basically, this product is called Road to Riches, and it came out in the fall of 2011. So fair about this product here is particularly Cap1 was 2 Chainz' wingman in a lot of senses, particularly around like the late 2000s, early 2010s, some of those type fairs within pitches behind it. Now, typically, you would probably catch Cap1. You would typically kind of catch Cap1 on at least 1 or 2 appearances on 2 Chainz' early albums, like the 2 Boats albums based on True Story albums, some of those type pitches within format, sometimes on the deluxe edition, some of those type fairs. He's just kind of a low-key, kind of +1 type homie for 2 Chainz. Kind of within the pitch, when it's not as commonplace talking about folks that 2 Chainz kind of put on within some of those type fairs. I mean, obviously, he had Dollar Boy, who was a part of Play a Circle with him, some of those type fairs, but within the pitch, kind of an extra wingman that would occasionally be like third in the whip as far as those fairs can happen within the extra aspects of it was Cap1, and it's excellent type fair that he has a string of solo projects as well within these aspects. Now, this particular one is a heavy dose of blitzer as far as those pitches can happen. Just every song in here I recommend within those pitches. So there's 20 songs. 20 songs, recommend all 20. It's simple enough to kind of have that particular candor. Just gonna burn down the list with some of these. It's easy enough, kind of 10 out of 10 within those aspects. Just basically kind of classic drill era out of classic Datpiff kind of mixtape drill, very similar to Lil Durk, Chief Keef, Waka Flocka, Slim Dunkin, some of those type folks, just getting like consistent kind of Lex Luger and Young Chop type beats, some of those type fairs, Zaytoven, 808 Mafia, Southside, some of those type folks within the pitch. This is just more, if you do miss that Datpiff early 2010s era of those classics consistently being pumped out throughout those particular times, this is just another stock one within the pitch. It really doesn't even feel secondary within some of these type pitches. Not to say that this is a bad album, it's just the pitch. It's moreover within the format that I just question if this particular mixtape even had like 15,000 downloads, something like that. If it had 5 digits, I'd be somewhat surprised. It's because Cap1 didn't really ever have charting songs. Maybe like he was on like I think if he did have any songs that charted on the Billboard 100 or even the R&B and hip hop charts, it's probably because of 2 Chainz pitches like that. But he has shown up oftenly enough. I don't know if 2 Chainz is full bound nowadays. Not like they have a beef or anything. It's just kind of the pitch is just saying that it's just kind of, you have to kind of search a little bit for like the moments, but it's just within the pitch that he is a good wingman, smoke buddy pitches like that. But yeah, consistent kind of mixtape heat here to be able to get some of these type fairs. Just the conduct of getting some of these type moments, and it's the product of having like red cup type noise pitches like that. There is some commercial moments on here. There is a number of these, like the song with Shauna, which is Ride. There's Freakum Dress, which is pretty good. Some of these ladies' songs, Rockstar with Future's pretty excellent type 1. Some of these type 1s, Look at Your Body. It's actually some surprising kind of commercial type moments that I look within the pitch. It's similar to like getting commercial moments from Lil Durk back in the early 2010s within the pitch, as far as saying that these do have the commercial snap about it, but it's just kind of fair as far as saying it in terms of like the full bound kind of crossover. It's just kind of more balming kind of surprise type moments, more so than something that's going to replace like, you know, the Kendrick Lamar Luther at number 1 or the Drake Nokia, some of those type moments within pitch. I mean, it's just kind of the product of this vintage type flair that just has some good chart appeal within the asset of just getting some extra kind of gems that do have some breakthrough within pitch if you look hard enough. So it's just kind of, it's more within the format. I definitely recommend fucking with it within the full boundedness of it. Just has the particular pitch as far as what's first going to happen. So we'll go down the list with these. So yeah, I would say Slick Rick is a real excellent type 1 on here. It's like a super glitz kind of mixtape traffic blur to kind of get within these aspects here. Just a 2010 stunt gem, I'd have to say. It just knocks the whole block off pitches like that. Definitely good for some loud as far as those pitches can happen. So this one has one of probably the most sparkly kind of beats on here. One of the most immediate type 1s in terms of like some venue stunts, some of those type of appeals. Now, there's a difference between venue blitzers and like commercials. So if you're looking for more pop rap ready type stuff or a little bit more commercial buy with something that's sing-songable pitches like that, I feel like Slick Rick is more within the format of just like some stylish kind of flair within the aspect, just like a good banger, like a mixtape type form within the pitch behind some of those type 1s that you would have gotten from 2 Chainz, like Spend It, and some of those type 1s off of his Codeine Cowboy days, and you know, like True to My Religion, some of those type pitches within those fairs, Money Making Mission, some of those type 1s, Riot, some of those type pitches just within the format. So yeah, I would definitely say Cap1 easily kind of has some of these, despite the fact that he is kind of like a 2 Chainz kind of wingman. Not to say full bound like that's all he could be, but it's just the pitch as far as saying but the point being, he has these hits on here, so he distinguishes himself pretty well. It's just the pitch as far as saying there just were so many through the trenches type moments with mixtape type fare. There's plenty of folks, just like when I talk about folks like Just Rich Gates and YG Hootie and like DJ Unk and some of these type folks that just drop mixtapes, and Slim Dunkin and, you know, Derez Deshawn, folks like that just had these particular type flares, Casino, folks like that just in the pitch. I mean, there's just plenty of multifaceted type gems. It's the obvious aspect to fuck with these. Freakum Dress is a quality one. It's like a groovy kind of mixtape diva kind of danger to kind of get within these aspects. This is one that has like some real excellent commercial bite on here. Just a good buzz single choice that I'd say within the pitch. Just some supplies to get pitches like that good song to burn with the bell as far as this pitch can happen. By burn, I mean toke up. Get some smoke flare kind of going with the aspects as far as this pitch will kind of happen. Just the particular dread or just the particular just drear of just like a more kind of just pink skies is kind of relative kind of melded and just kind of not so much cloudier, but just kind of drifty, kind of extra after effects, and just like the project like commerce, just within typical kind of this weekday type push, just in a mixtape type form. So it has a good commercial type appeal for it, just more commercial aspect than what was probably thought. Fucked Up with Travis Porter's real nice one. It's like a slinky kind of house party sprawled out, I'd have to say, within the pitch here. Just gutter as shit, definitely within the aspect here. Definitely some neighborhood sleaze, I'd have to say, and just some red hot kind of turn up. So this is the pitch. This is some of those type formats. Travis Porter was doing routine type ones of this. It's really too bad the mixtape type scene started to get a little bit dried out by the time we got to 2013, 2014, because Travis Porter definitely could have had a lot more of these bangers. They were pretty similar to like Roscoe Dash, some of those type folks. Just consistent one to get hella tore up to within some type form. So just excellent type appeal. Just thinking of like Waka Flocka with some of his Salute Me or Shoot Me mixtapes, and Flocka Valley with songs like Grocery Party, some of those type pitches, and just typical folks like that. Kibo Gotti, some of those type folks that I had to say. Rockstar with Future's real excellent one. It's like a gloss kind of late day surfing to kind of get here. Just a relative kind of commercial jive about this one. Once again, this is the sort of stuff that Future was getting onto. Now Future was starting to cross over pretty quickly. He was trying to spearhead like the movement of getting trap mainstream out in album type format, but around this time in the fall of 2011, these were some of these type months where he was kind of in crossover type mode. So it's just the aspect of everything he was doing by this stage in 2011 was starting to have like some kind of chart appeal with an aspect of just crossing over to like more above groundness. So this is like a good 5 p.m. kind of trap makeshift to kind of get here, just feel grand as far as this pitch will kind of happen. So yeah, Rockstar just has that particular type of appeal. Just the aspect of this and conduit type most within the appeal behind it is that relative kind of, yeah, when I say trap makeshift, not so much full bound kind of hustlers makeshift, but just more trap makeshift, just the format of having some of that makeshift type dredge within the pitch, just more Datpiff type format, some of those particular type appeals. It's the feeling grand. There's a lot of good songs on this album that just feel real great within the aspect, just a real kind of ambient, or not, it's a real kind of excited and sparky type mood within some of those type pitch. Definitely some apple type forms to just the pitch of just being bliss as hell normally within some of these type fashions. Real has a good connect on here. Work with 2 Chainz, a real nice one. Now, unfortunately, there's not a ton of 2 Chainz team ups. This is the only one on here. Just classic 2 Chainz and Cap1 within some of those type appeals. They have classic chemistry. This is like a classic kind of Datpiff and snarling kind of neighborhood traffic to kind of get here. Just supply run, I would definitely say, just late shift kind of grit. Some of those type pitches. It's kind of missed the hustle, just like Datpiff mode, some of those type formats, where I feel like Rockstar's a little bit more of unwind within the pitch, just kind of the dredge. I just got done with things. I feel like this is more late shift kind of still going on, pitches like that still miss hustle mode, just kind of a smoke hard type song within the pitch. So definitely getting some hellish smoke in your system, just the particular fare, just really having to turn up within some of those type moments. Walk and Bankroll is a real vicious type one on here. It's like a Liddy kind of evening embrace kind of get, just some fierce turn up, I would definitely say. Just feel great, I had to say, with an aspect. Another nice one for some of those type of appeals is routine kind of demon time glamour within some of those type aspects. So this is the pitch. This can be swapped out with pretty much damn near any kind of venue song with Flocka Valley and some of those little Dirk and Chief Keef type ones within those pitches. Just feels like within the format, this consistent kind of this mixtape era type classic within some of those type appeals. It's the same sort of snarl. A lot of this is pretty terrifying within the pitch, and by terrifying I mean the aspect of just like that mixtape kind of horrific type tone within the pitch, as far as just staying like that consistent snarl. This feels like pretty much year-round kind of October, late September type music within the pitch, and just that particular format, as if like a lifestyle of Flocka Valley were just year-round within some of those type pitches, just kind of the consistent kind of bounds to that. I mean, there are some commercial moments on here, but it's just some good type pitches to just swapping out some of these that just has further aspects of just having like that particular flair just in spades. Dreamer is a quality one. Dreamer's a quality one. It's like a mixtape soul, kind of 2000s DJ drama vibes that I had to say in like a 2010 sense to kind of get here. Just a dredgy kind of half-stone commerce, I'd say, with an aspect, good song to ruminate. So just kind of the pitch, a little bit of productiveness, but just kind of halfway smokage in your system, fares like that, just from the product of it, just kind of the product of having like some haphazard kind of errands, just pitched like that, kind of in-between type moments. Just a good song to ruminate within some of that fares. Just throws it back to DJ drama out of 2006, 2007, but just more in the aspect of just kind of having the tone of just like having some go-abouts within the standard day fare as far as those pitches can have. So definitely, pretty much, it's not as full. I mean, it's more mixtape makeshift, more so than trap makeshift, but it's just good type pitch to get some of these. You know, is a quality one. This one reminds of like stock kind of Waka Flocka and Slim Duncan kind of heat here. Just some of those type of aspects, like some sort of hook that Derez Deschamps would kind of do out of 2012 or late 2011. Some of those type pitches, just those sort of aspects within that same sort of format. It just feels like Dirt Gang or Slim Duncan. Some of those type folks, just hella turnt, kind of Roscoe Dash. Songs like Hella Turnt, kind of Roscoe Dash, kind of indulged flavor within some of that pitch. So it just feels like Travis Porter, feels like Fast Life Youngstas, feels like Dirt Gang, some of those type folks. Definitely feels like Derez Deschamps, some of those type pitches within the format of it. Just typical kind of ATL type sound. I want to say that Cap1 might be from Atlanta. I'm not as full-bound sure because there's not a ton of information about him, but I want to say, considering that 2 Chainz was from Atlanta and Dollar Boy I think was from Atlanta too, it had to say within those aspects, this is probably the format that he was amidst that format also. Road to Riches intro is a quality one. It's like a good mood set for like a typical kind of hot Datpiff livings kind of get here, just like Flocka and 2 Chainz heat as far as those pairs gonna have. So just to miss like the typical format, just like day bang as far as those pairs are gonna have them with it. Typical aspects within some of those type products, just good type flavor, just like Walk and Bankroll and Work and some of those type ones, some of those type pitches within the format of it. Mayday, some of these type ones. Creflo, some of these definite type aspects. Speaking of Creflo, this has Dollar Boy on here. It's a good type pitch to get him on here as well within some of those type fares. Definitely need to get to some of his music. This reminds me like a Lil Durk, kind of Chief Keef, kind of Ravenous, Get Hype, I'd say. Feels like a Young Chop kind of venue slammer as far as this pitch comes. So just the pitch, when you think of songs like I Don't Like by Young Chop, you think of songs like I Don't Like and 300 by Young Chop and Chief Keef, some of those type fares within the pitch. Definitely has the format of some of that. So Creflo just has that particular kind of drill type heat, just excellent banger within some type pitches that I have to say. Mayday is a quality one as well, definite heaviness. This is like a Getting Blitz, kind of enjoying the air. I'd have to say here, pitches like that, just some dance venue noise. I'd have to say just social bite about this one, particular kind of casualness about it, just consistent heavy slaps as far as those first happen. So just kind of a worrying kind of a worrying and dizzy type one with an aspect, just kind of having some smokage, definitely within the fair, just consistent kind of just out and about within the pitch of just having like the particular venue ambience and just knowing that there's some thrills amongst the times as far as this pitch comes. Just consistent kind of banging type term, just the aspect. Probably one of the more snarling type ones and a more, I mean, this one's not as much commercial, but this has the aspect of having a more immediate type fashion that's just not like, this is one that's kind of a heavy hitter that's not as full-bound kind of drill or full-bound kind of trap. This is kind of one that just is like a banger that probably would have been ripped out of like 2009, 2010 just from some of those type folks that just were not as trap. Really, I don't even want to say it's not as trap. Just the pitch is just a consistent type one, but it's just not. It just has a little bit more kind of immediate. This is probably one of the more immediate productions on here, I'd say, with the supposing your learning curve to like trap music is kind of within the pitch. But I would definitely say it shouldn't be within these aspects because these are just banger after banger. But I just look within the pitch as far as saying that's the fair about it. So yeah, Finesse is a nice one. It's like a highlight, kind of horrific, kind of super snarl. I'd have to say here, just consistent loud pack. I'd definitely say just residential, kind of exhilarated moves within some of those type pitches. Finesse is just kind of residential, exhilarated moves. This pitch like that. It feels like typical kind of mixtape heat, something Lil Durk would do. Some of those type folks within the format of it. Chief Keef just a more typical kind of hustle bop within the pitches, just like neighborhood strut. Some of those type appeals, snack run. Some of those type pitches, easily kind of picking up like some checks mix. Some of those type fares within aspect. Definitely would have to say. I look within tone as far as saying calling my line is a nice one. Just with the pitch of it as well as like this one is like a brooding kind of night shift heavy slam. I'd have to say within pitch, just hustle mode, kind of crunk. I would say within aspect here, just kind of productive flex and shine as far as those pitches kind of happen. So yeah, calling my line is just still miss like the work shift just within the pitch. Not as full. I mean, it's more hustler's makeshift within the sense behind it, but just has a productive type fare of just getting some stuff done and consistent kind of flex, and it's the shine of it as far as just having like good stunt type appeal within some type aspects. So good type tone for some of those. I would say Mafia is a nice one. It's like a Tibble Dope kind of. Mafia is like a Tibble Dope kind of after work shift kind of hustlers unwind to kind of get here. Just bravado. I definitely feel like this. The song Mafia is like a Tibble Dope kind of after work shift kind of hustlers unwind bravado kind of get within these aspects. Grab a brew, definitely some of those type tones. Figure out like a new drop as far as those pitch kind of happen. So just in pitch feels more like a Jeezy type format. Cap1 and 2 Chainz were kind of within the pitch. I think they fucked with both Gucci Mane and Jeezy as far as those first gonna happen. So this just feels more like late 2000s kind of ATL type sound within pitches like that. Some of that particular type venue type bangs within some of those type pitches of it. Just kind of in between type modes, just in the pitch of this kind of modes of just few spare type modes to sip a cold one, just the in between type fashion, just kind of some of that kind of evening slag type dredge that Rocco would kind of do with songs like Tomorrow and I'ma Do Me, some of those type pitches. Now I'm not sure if Drummer Boy produces on here. A lot of good producers, a lot more low key. Some folks like Big Hurt, Zoe the Beat Boy, Congo, some of these type folks, Crankenstein, definitely some pitches, but it definitely has these folks really go in within some of these type pitches to say. Break Bread is a real nice one. Don't know if I talked about this one. It's like a glissy kind of nightclub pizzazz kind of get here. Just feeling dizzy and excited. I would definitely say within the pitch. Go ham, I'd have to say, and this bangs this time and again within some of the pitch. So just the format. Just kind of the pitch of just like a dizzy type one, just real head trip type vibes within the pitch behind this, real excellent type one to have some embellish within the format of it. So just plenty of these on here. Creflo, some of these type pitches on here. Creflo, Slick Rick, definitely. Break Bread, I'd say Mayday, some of these type pitches. Work, definitely plenty of good heaters off this particular album. Just packed to gills with bangers, I'd say, within the aspect of it. Definitely a pretty glitzy type appeal. Look at Your Body's a nice one as well within some of these type pitches. This has a chick named Bambi on here as far as these fairs going to happen. Cute starlet within some of those type of appeals, like a neighborhood kind of in between. I'd say just personal, just be like a personal kind of mush along. I'd say within those aspects, just kind of diva and hottie unwind. I'd say within the aspect, it's like some good diva and hottie kind of unwind in combo as far as those pitch kind of happens. And just more within the kind of plainer type moments of like day fair, just when pitch, just kind of makeshift, not so much makeshift, but just kind of spare type moments within the fashion, just extra. It's kind of some pull aside type music within the format, just nearby diva, nearby hottie, some of those type pitches, nearby belle within the pitch as far as those particular fairs can happen just within the pitch of this consistent kind of, just some good mid-pace kind of turn up within a more homebound type fashion. So just the pitch of getting like particular kind of house party type vibes, but just more in like a chillax kind of mixtape R&B type fashion with a more trap type sense that I'd say within the aspect of it. So I think I talked about every song here. Maybe I didn't talk about Gangbang. Gangbang's another immediate one. Gangbang's like some flex music, get held, turned, I'd have to say. Just vintage kind of Datpiff kind of drill banger. This reminds me of like some Flocka kind of clubbing as far as this pitch comes. So this is definitely one of the most immediate songs out this project. Just that consistent kind of craziness just within those aspects as far as those fairs are going to happen. I just look within the pitch as far as saying this has that particular tone of just like, you know, this mixtape heat, some of that particular format, good flex type music, like I was saying, this real kind of glossed out and just having the particular appeal, this money, just feeling good, some of those type aspects, just turned up as hell, turned up to 11, some of those type pitches, all the way turned up, some of those particular type phrases, some of those particular type aspects within the pitch. So yeah, I think I talked about every song in here just within the pitch behind it. Maybe I didn't talk about On My Way either. I think this last one I haven't talked about is full bound, but just say if I have talked about On My Way, I'll just skip it. But On My Way gives like dope kind of Flockavelli kind of in between commerce vibes kind of get here, just a sparkly and shrill kind of night prowling as far as those pitches kind of happen. Just to miss the product of just typical kind of mixtape type fare. Just it's kind of like this particular, just has like some good immerse within the pitch. Songs like this is just real demon time type living within the pitch behind it. So this really has that early 10s type format to a T. This really has some excellent kind of early 2010s type flair within the pitch behind it. So just the product, just like that typical kind of creep run, just feels like something like Fredo Santana and Lil Durk would kind of do some of those type pitches. Just Flockavelli type moments within pitches, just snack run kind of drugstore type runs, some of those type pitches, picking up like even like a Powerade or just like something like a Sprite and getting like a good drink or something like that, just something to kind of mix in some of those type formats. So just aspects for us and a good type turn up within the aspect behind it. I don't know if I talked about Ride. I keep finding more of these songs within pitch. I'm not sure if I talked about Ride. I think I talked about Ride being like a glazed kind of midday surfing kind of get here. Just a relative kind of commercial bite about this one. It's a good look for Shauna. I'd have to say just the pitch of Shauna from Disturbing the Peace and T-Pain's Nappy Boy Entertainment's on this particular song. So it's a good look considering that she was in this popping around these particular times past like 2010 with Ludacris. Like a good late shift primer to kind of get some of these aspects here. So it's just some pitch as far as saying this one does have a commercial bite about it within the aspects. It's very similar to like I would say Rockstar and some of those type pitches. I think I did talk about this song. I was full bound, but there are some moments on here like Freakum Dress, Rockstar, Ride, definitely with some of those type pitches. Ride definitely has a pretty affable type hook within the pitch behind. Just a real connecting type appeal, just kind of glazed with an aspect of just like kind of Pink Skies and this pitches like that. And some lambent kind of surfing and commerce within the pitch, or just traffic just out in the neighborhood. So that's the pitch. Album Mixtape gets a 10 out of 10. Social Score, I'll go ahead and give it 10 out of 10 as well. I'd probably moreover give it like a 9.75, but it's just the pitch that this album goes so hard, just really goes in, packed to the gills. All 20 of these songs, not just 15, 16, 18, but actually 20 unique songs have this particular blitzing type of appeal. Has some good guests on here. Shauna, 2 Chainz, Dollar Boy, folks like that. Some of those particular type fairs. There's other folks on here just within the aspect kind of it. Future is on here. Travis Porter's on here. So it's just some good type pitches as far as saying This has the consistent bangers in like the Datpiff type format. Really feels like a shrill kind of continuation of Flockabilly and some of those type Allen's pitches like that. Ferrari Boys, some of those type pitches with an aspect of it. Gucci Mane, some of his Return to Mr. Zone 6 type days, pitches like that. It real fits right in. It's just consistent further type ones and pretty much like a tertiary kind of aspect, I'd say. I'd say 2 Chainz is probably more secondary in like his Titty Boy days in 2011 as he transformed into 2 Chainz, but definitely within the pitch as far as saying there's just some moments here getting to some of 2 Chainz' slime pitches like that where these folks just, despite the fact that this is low-key and it seems that Cap1 never really had charting songs like that, he still managed to knock these out of the park just clean away as far as this pitch counts. So just the pitch as far as saying, to that end it gets a 10 social. So in terms of future, I know that Cap1 has dropped other projects, some of those type formats. I'm going to get to some of these. Some of these are mixtapes. I think he might have even dropped an album or two, some of those type formats. I know he was released at 2 Chainz, kind of wingman throughout the early 2010s, like the banner kind of Datpiff mixtape era, pretty much up to like 2014, 2015, just within those particular years of it. So that's the pitch as far as saying, but this is a classic here, definite to pitch to say. Cap1 Road to Riches, definite banger. This is a little bit tricky of a project to find. It's another reason why the social score might get a 9.75, but I'm going to keep it at 10 because it is classic. So if you do find this project, it's just the pitch. Have to hunt around. It's not really on YouTube like that, but it definitely is worth the appeal easily. And also the Ball So Hard freestyle is pretty excellent as well. It's just like a good, nice one to kind of get to like the Kanye West and Jay-Z song Niggas in Paris as far as those first gaps. So that's the only real mixtape cut in a traditional type fashion, but that hits pretty heavily as well. So just clean sweep across the board. Every song, including the mixtape freestyle, is pretty excellent.